On this episode of Still Loading, it's the 200th episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 200th episode of the Still Loading podcast. I am your host, Josh Koval. Can you believe it? Can y'all believe it? We just made it to 200 episodes, and I, for one, am surprised. I never would have expected to hit 200 episodes, but lo and behold, here we are, 200 episodes of the podcast. And to celebrate, I'm throwing this totally real, not digital party. And joining me at this totally real, not digital party is the original co-host of the Still Loading podcast. And there's going to be a bunch of guests coming in and out because, you know, it's a shindig. I don't know who we're going to see where this conversation takes us. Who's going to hop in? Who's going to show up? We don't really know. It's going to be a surprise all around. So with me right now, though, to start off the episode is the original co-host of the Still Loading podcast, Justin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
Dude, thank you for coming to my party. I'm honored that you decided to show up for my 200th episode. Like, I can't believe it.
Of course, sir. And you know, when we first started this, we were still living with our parents. We had our own like GTL thing going on, but instead of Gym Tan Laundry, it was DDR Parkour Pizza Podcast.
DPP? P? DP squared? It's
DP
cubed, sorry. DP cubed. DP cubed? That sounds like a dirty sex move, Justin. Really I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like
where
that.
This podcast is
you ruined the 200th episode right on the onset.
My job is done, so I'll see you at the next party.
No, but seriously, thank you for coming on. Like, I can't believe it. Like, 200 episodes, and we're here at like there's a party with a bunch of guests from previous episodes are here hanging out. It's gonna be a good time. I wonder who's all gonna show up. Oh my God! Someone's at the door. Let me go get it.
All right.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Oh, wow, 200. Like, it's a good-looking place you got here, Josh. Hi, Justin.
Hey,
How do you know him?
Oh, we go back. We go way back.
Oh.
Anyway,
Do you even know where you're at?
it's your 200th thingy? You won 200, something.
I didn't win anything.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Josh. Hiya! Sorry, old habits.
Oh my! Do I recognize you? Do you wait? Do you have your hair tied up in a ponytail right now to like hide how long it is?
Yeah, well, I mean, during quarantine, it got to be a bit of a mess. So, we hoink it back up there. And, yeah, Zelda doesn't like it, but we'll cut it eventually.
So wait, if you're not even here for my 200th episode, why'd you knock on my door?
Are you kidding? I'm totally here for your 200th episode. But from what I've been told, you have many pots at your house. Yes.
I mean, I have a specific kind of pot. I don't know if
but you have multiple pots. Yes, I have the other kind. You have multiple pots, plural.
That explains a lot right there. I mean, I guess.
Good, excellent.
I mean, there might be something, but might not be up to your standards.
No, listen, it's not about standards. If I can be honest with you,
explains your dating life.
The reason I'm here is this is difficult to say.
What are you on Pots Anonymous?
Sorry, I fell. I tripped. But no, the reason I'm here, my therapist has said that it would be good for me to be in a room with lots of different pots, but with other people in it to help with my problem.
Okay. I don't think we have the types of pots you're looking for necessarily. We have some planters.
No,
like
you don't understand, okay? What I need to do is be in a room with pots and not fucking break them! Sorry. I just got a little bit absolutely livid. And
Just only a I could hardly tell.
just a smidge. And my therapist thought it would be a good idea for me to be in a room with lots of pots for other people so I wouldn't smash them. Just crush them, just hey-ya!
So wait, are you on like a 12-step program but for pots right now?
It's supposed to be 12 steps. We're on number 30.
Oh, okay. I'm
a while.
not. So, but which step is you going to apologize to all the people you previously broke their pots? Have you broken into people's houses to break their pots? Oh, Link.
My attorney says that I don't have to answer that question. So, with all due respect, happy 200th again. I'm not gonna do it. But what I will say is.
Link.
What?
I just keep going.
What?
I'm so.
God, you look like my mother. They had that same look of disapproval, of oh, why aren't you more like our other son, Flink?
Wait, so.
Why aren't you more like Flink? He beat Ganon the first try. There's no Ganondorf. There's no Ganon add-in. Just
One and done.
So, does he have his own? Wait, you have a brother?
We don't talk about. Well, I don't talk about it. They can't help but talk about it. Flink, we love Flink. He wears pants like a normal boy.
So you just told me he also beat Ganon. So is there a competing series here? Or are you like going through different?
Listen, motherfucker, I'm
like,
an original.
Legend of Flelda or something?
Legend of Floda.
Floda.
That whore.
Oh, tell me about it. Is this a complicated relationship you got going on?
You know,
where did Floda touch you?
You know what? I will tell you only so it keeps me distracted from these goddamn pots.
Oh, it's okay. They're very small. You can ignore them.
Was it the Florida man?
Oh no, we all know Floda's man. We all know Floda's man. And he ain't shit! No. But the point
every
is,
other news story is it's a Floda man.
Exactly.
I'm not here to talk about no Flodas, no men. I got off track. My therapist says I do that a lot. No. What I'm here to do is to wish you a happy 200th birth episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he knew. How did he know?
I knew. That's why I came. I didn't come on the orders of therapist. No, but I'm proud of you. I've listened to him. Great stuff. You know, I loved your one episode about the guy who and when it went and you're like, oh, that's crazy that a game does that. I thought it was crazy.
Do you
too.
realize you're part of a game series? Is there some level of self-awareness? Is this like a weird version of the Terminator where you've become self-aware?
The fuck are you talking about?
I'm just trying to ask a question,
The
Link.
fuck are you talking about?
I'm just trying to ask a question, Link.
Did my therapist talk to you? Is that it?
The pots aren't
Did he
real,
fucking
Link.
pay you?
I don't think this guy's actually
He
Link.
keeps saying, you're in a game, Link. None of this shit's real. There's no horse. You didn't go back in time. Horses aren't real. But they are.
Well,
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right, buddy. All right, buddy.
It was a good pot, too.
It's
Oh,
okay.
no.
It's okay, Link. I got a little upset. But it's okay. It happens. That one was on it. It lived a good life. It was on its way out. You did it a favor.
Yeah.
It was going to shatter in a very slow and shatter.
Yeah, right,
So
right.
it's okay. You did it a favor. But Justin, I don't think this guy's really Link.
What?
Do you know of a place that rhymes with Alilum? I don't want to make sure it triggers him. Maybe that word triggers him. So you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm talking about. Strategic. Oh, his
Okay.
eyes are going crossed.
Again, I'm going to refer you to my lawyer and what I've been told to say and not to say. But I will say sorry for your pot. I had a moment of weakness.
It's okay.
And
It's
it
okay.
won't happen again.
You know what? If I ever meet your therapist, I will say that you are doing much better.
Will you?
I can already
Will you
see.
really?
Yes,
Oh, that's
especially if
nice.
I never see you again.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm more like my mother every minute. Okay. Well, no. You know what? I should go. You know, the one pot was enough. I should give my therapist a. Just give me one moment.
Okay. He's calling. He's calling his therapist.
Okay. Yeah. Hello? Yeah, Mario. It's me again. Yeah. Yeah, it was another pot.
I forgot Mario was a doctor at 1.2.
Yeah, it was a pot. Yeah. Okay.
No one.
I'll see you soon.
His antidepressants must be shit.
I love you too. Bye.
I love you.
Okay, well,
Interesting.
this was nice.
Yeah. He loves Mario.
I'm
I don't
gonna go.
understand. Okay, I think
Sorry.
Hey, you know.
See ya.
Hey, look, listen, man. Thanks for coming. You know,
Oh, well, you're welcome. Thank
I
you.
get the pot struggle. I get it.
Yeah, no, for real. So, oh, that feels good. Okay. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you never. Who was that?
Your guess is as good as
I don't even know how he knew it. Like he knew to celebrate something. It wasn't my 200th episode, but he showed up. I need to move.
Yeah.
After this party, are you free tomorrow?
Yeah, we can.
I'm gonna push this out of my mind, but like, because we have other guests to entertain. But like, I'm moving tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's a good play.
All right, we got to find a house. But anyway, we don't have time for that right now. You know, I have lots of guests to entertain. I can move tomorrow. It'll be okay. We'll figure something out. But there's guests here to entertain. But there's a lot of people here that I don't really know who they are. Let's take a walk. Who are these people? Hello? Who? How did you guys get in here? How do you even find out about this party?
It's Still Loading's Josh Koval. I'm totally just here having dip. Not trying to make it to your backyard so I can infiltrate your neighbor next door who may be a high-value target.
Is this guy a friend of yours?
I'm a big fan of his podcast. I listen to it in my ear.
Oh,
Do you-
podcast. That sounds interesting.
Well, I feel like where do you do your best listening? I feel like is it in a box? Do you like to like hide in boxes to listen to podcasts? I feel like that gets good acoustics for like it muffles the outside sound.
Listening to podcasts in boxes. That sounds actually like a fantastic idea. I'll be right back. I need to find not a box.
Where'd he go?
Has
he just disappeared.
anybody seen my girlfriend? She's gone missing, and people keep saying she's in another castle. I don't know where. Have you guys seen her?
I don't know who you're talking about. Did you think this is a castle?
Well, I mean, it's a nice house. I'm assuming it's a castle.
You have not seen. Clearly not seen many houses then.
I don't know if you've seen the plumbing either.
That's a dirty joke, Justin. You don't say that about someone else's house. So you're looking for your girlfriend. Someone else chimed in here though. I don't know who are you?
Oh, that was me. I've actually been here for a while. You look like you were having fun.
I just completely ignore you.
It's fine. It happens all the time, actually. You'd be surprised. This is the first time I've actually been invited to a party.
First time.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, where have you been living up until now? Like, how have you not been invited to a party?
The bowels of hell, actually.
Oh, it's a different kind of party.
It's really quite warm.
I believe it. I mean, do you get what's winters like down there?
I've never heard of that. You might have to describe it for me.
There's lots of snow. Have you heard of snow?
No.
So you're from hell. First
Yes.
off, why are you here then if you're from hell?
It seemed like a nice excuse to go on holiday. And like I said, I've never
So
been
you know what
invited to a
holiday
party
is, but you
before.
don't know what winter is.
Well, yes.
Okay.
I heard it was your 200th birthday.
Oh, why is you're half right, sort of. But why is someone from hell celebrating my birthday? Well, it's not my birthday, but thank you. I mean, I'll take a belated birthday. But why is someone from hell here for my birthday?
It seemed like a good excuse to get away from the Space Marines. And I've never had human punch before. It's quite lovely.
What type of punch have you had before?
Mostly the violent kind. Mostly like in my face area. It's not very pleasant.
In my face. Is there? All right, I think I'm starting to pinpoint now, like where I've seen you before. Like I'm starting to get some hints. Is there some guy who just kind of shows up? He's like he doesn't really have much of a name. He just kind of shows up and just shoots everything to hell. Am I getting close to? I feel like I know who you are.
Yeah, there's lots of people like that. It's very frustrating, I have to tell you, with the shooting and the punching. Sometimes there's a team of them.
Sometimes there's a team. Like, who's raiding your home? That like, how are they? Who's coming in? Like, why is there a team of space marines?
Yes. You know, I've asked myself that same question before. All I'm doing is living my normal life in my hell, tormenting various people, dripping with ooze like I do, and they just come in here and then they punch me in the face. And you would think that being a demon, I should explain. You probably don't know my name because it's very difficult to pronounce in the human language. But if you were just willing to guess the general video game or genre that I'm from, I think the word that you humans use to describe us would be what is it? Oh, it's an NPC. Or
NPC.
maybe a monster. Although I personally think that term is kind of derogatory.
So what are you? Well, before we move on, real quick, Mario here. Do you think maybe you could ask this demon here if they've seen your princess?
Yeah, I didn't want to butt in on your conversation because I too was trying to figure out who the heck she was, and so yeah, has anybody that has punched you in the face had a dress on?
Was it the princess?
Or like a crown or something along those lines?
Is your princess known for punching people?
I mean, we get into it sometimes.
Is there something you'd like to
We
tell
get
us,
into
Mario?
it sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's dive into this a little bit. Let's open this can of worms here. So is there like do you guys need to see a counselor or something, or I feel like one of you guys where has she hit you? Are you can you point on a doll? What?
Well, she has been seeing somebody else, actually a lot, and I really wish she wouldn't, because, I don't see her for quite a while, and then I have to try to find her, and she always says, it's just my therapist, and I don't believe it. I don't.
That sounds pretty normal to me. But then again, I am from hell. So,
I keep wanting to think you're from Doom or something.
I am, in fact, from Doom. You might have recognized me when you start up the game and you go down into hell. There's I'm really proud of my work, actually. I'm the third demon that you meet when you get into hell. I'm hoping one day to work up to first demon, but
But the first demon's the first one that dies, isn't it? Do you really want to get right up to that front point?
I mean, do you really die when you're a demon? I mean, there is sometimes explosion and dismemberment, but really, I mean, as an incorporeal or sometimes not perfectly living being, I mean, we always come back eventually, right?
That is a philosophical quandary we're at. Does a demon really die, or do they just respawn?
Is it just me, or do you guys see a box right behind you?
I felt something on my
hey.
leg.
Hey.
What? Cool. Does he think we can't see? He's still walking. I can see his feet from under the box. He's got his own theme song and everything.
Do boxes move up here?
Well, apparently this one does. Here, let me rip this off.
Ah! Oh. Ah. Well, hello there.
Hi, Snake.
Kept you waiting, huh?
I was not expecting. So, did you complete your mission? Did you see a princess while you were out there at my neighbor's house?
Well, to be honest, once I got into this box, I put on the latest episode of Still Loading. It's got a great theme song. I kind of got distracted.
I'm
That's
honored.
okay.
So wait, no, but let me get this straight. So all three of you here were not invited to my party, and you're wait. Why is the fourth? Are you fourth or third demon? I forget now.
I am third demon. Thank
Third
you very
demon.
much. I haven't been fourth demon for 300 millennia.
Are you trying to get us killed, Koval?
I needed to clarify. Okay, so why is third demon, Snake, and Mario all here, but I didn't invite any of you? I don't even know if I've ever met any of you.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I came up from hell for a nice breather, and I've
been
never
over this.
tried human punch before, and you seem to be having a nice party.
So your whole reason you're here is because you just wanted to try punch.
It was really good.
Well, thank you.
Compliments to your chef.
That would be my wife. She's a very good cook. Well, I guess you can't really. Can you cook punch?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I mean, you probably had it before. A flaming hot fist just going into your face. That's a different kind of cooked punch.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So I would say yes. You can prepare a punch.
That's like hot Kool-Aid.
That sounds like something that would be from hell. Hot Kool-Aid.
You're from hell.
Yes. That's where my residence is presently.
I hear that hell never changes.
No, you're right. It's very consistent.
I feel like you're the type of person, Snake, that says a lot of things that they think are deep and meaningful, but they end up not really being deep or meaningful. I mean, I'm not trying to throw any shade at you, mind you.
I mean, he has a lot of ladders to climb.
He
and
does have
very
a lot
tall
of
ladders.
So
at
he's
that.
been
So
through a
he's
lot
got
of ups and
thing.
downs, and so he's been probably pretty close to hell with all those ladders he's climbed.
If you have a ladder, I could probably use it to get to your roof. I'm currently on a mission given to me by my best friend, and, well, I like to call him my brother, really. To go infiltrate this party so I can find a missing person who apparently is your neighbor, DARPA Chief Louis Anderson.
I was hoping that you were here to find Mario's missing princess. I figured that was your mission since you're here to find a missing person.
I'm not convinced they may not be one and the same.
Is your brother also a hotel entrepreneur that owns a ghost busting business?
Hold on, let me check. I'm gonna be here for the next half an hour talking to him. One sec.
But you need to check to see who your brother is.
He can't
He's
see
more
anything
like
right
a
now. There's
brother
a
in
screen in front of him.
arms.
He's looking at the codec right now. All he can see is a picture of somebody else. And some sound lines. He can't hear you right now. He's in the codec.
Oh, Otacon, you're so funny.
See, this guy. Oh, we'll let him figure it out. But maybe, just maybe. I mean, I know none of you. I mean, I'm a little insulted. None of you are here for my 200th episode. But maybe we can help find Mario's princess because The only thing I can think of is that she's with his brother, and who's Luigi, and I'm assuming Luigi is pretty close to a DARPA chief. Luigi isn't. You said Louis was his name.
I just got off the old earphone.
That wasn't.
It turns out that it's actually DARPA Chief Luigi Anderson.
I knew it.
I had no. So that's why there's all this technology in the Mushroom Kingdom, even though I don't see any. Like, I can't understand how toads make any of their technology. It's definitely Luigi. He's the secret one behind all of this. That's what I think we're coming to realize from this conversation right here. He's making all the experimental. He created the power mushroom. He created the fire flower. He created the hammer suit. It's all coming together now.
Yes, I believe it is. Well, if I could maybe enlist the help of you. I can only assume your name is Plumber Fireman.
Close enough. I'll take it.
And you,
Mario's a bit of a cock, I think.
Demon Ocelot.
My name's Jeff,
Oh.
but that's fine.
Third demon, Jeff.
Yeah, third demon, Jeff. I mean, third demon's my title. I feel like we're friends here, so just Jeff's
so
fine.
just Jeff.
That's quite a lovely name for a demon, I must say.
Oh, thank you. I spell it with a G.
How
The only
fancy.
proper way to do it. The only proper way. So we got here. We have Jeff from Hell. We have Snake and we have Mario. So Snake, is there any way you could sneak in and see if Luigi Anderson has Mr. Anderson has Mario's princess over there? Have you heard rumblings of a kidnapping at all, or is it just a runaway princess?
That is something we will have to find out. Plumber Fireman, do you think that your princess would have run away?
Oh, no. Maybe.
I'm really curious about this relationship they have going on here. It really seems like she's just been using him this whole time.
I mean, I'm a pretty good plumber. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty good at it.
I think that's a euphemism.
I'm a little confused. I don't know much about your human culture, but the plumber princess dynamic has me a little baffled. Are you in a relationship with the princess? Are you are you a professional plumber? Why are you looking for her if you're just the plumber with the pipe?
Do
Jeff.
you work for the castle?
Yeah, are you an employee?
Maybe it's just love.
Oh, that's sweet.
I hear love. Can love grow on a battlefield? These are questions I have. Constantly. In my head.
I feel like we need to get a book of snakeisms and just compile them all together for Snake's words of wisdom.
Nanomachines.
That's the whole quote. Just you figure it out from there.
Well, listen here. I'm going to go ahead and sneak out of this sliding glass door right after I have a little bit more of this dip, because it is tasty. And I will go ahead and infiltrate your neighbor next door and bring you some answers. Here, stick these things in your ear. Go ahead. It's totally safe.
Well, thanks.
Okay. I'm going to go as well. So I'm going to maybe also see that therapist that my girlfriend's been seeing and try to figure out some
It's
answers.
not the same one as Link.
Oh, I hope not, because I heard that guy's a jerk. So yeah, I'm gonna go. So here we go.
I'll probably stick around. I might watch you while you sleep, if that's okay.
Now, now, Jeff, why would you watch us while we sleep?
I don't know. I haven't got anything else to do at the moment.
And if you were any other demon from hell, I would say no. But you've been so charming today. I'm glad you crashed my party. I hope you stick around and enjoy some more punch, the non-violent kind.
Oh, thank you. That's probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
All right. Well, I'm going to move on to my next party guest. Thank you, Mario. It's been I've seen better.
Hey, I'm doing the best that I can here, okay? I mean, I don't have any pots anymore in the Mushroom Kingdom because of that Link guy, and I'm just trying to do my best here, okay? Listen, don't at me.
Look, Mario, it's fine. Just see if you can fit inside this box. We'll leave together.
Oh, that's how I started my relationship.
Do 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 do.
Snake?
You sneak better if you hum.
Snake?
Have a good party still loading.
Thank you. There he goes. Just
Bye, Snake.
homeboy just walking out with a box and another homeboy in that box.
Well, all right, Josh. We've had many interesting guests today. I like Jeff, but no one at Demon's watching me sleep, and I might have to be hitting the old dusty trail here soon.
Oh my God, he just disappeared.
Oh, bye.
He just his voice stayed, but his body was just gone for a little bit. Okay, well, Justin's gone, but let's see who else is here. I gotta entertain my guests, but I'm still recording. Let's see what guests we have here. Holy shit! It's Neil from the GameCube was Cool podcast. Neil, come over here.
Hey Josh, what's up, man? Good to see you. How you
Dude,
been?
thank you so much. How have I been? I'm throwing my 200th episode. Thank you for coming, though. All the way from Canada, no less.
Yeah, all the way from Toronto. Just hopped on my moose
Toronto.
and I drove all the way here. It was a good drive, but the commute, Josh, was really strange coming in. I gotta say, I passed an inebriated. It looked like Link dressed in horrible cosplay. Was that from your party? It looked like he was on his way to a school, like he was passing through a schoolyard, and that is not safe.
I mean, I hope that guy wasn't passing through a schoolyard. He's got a lot of issues in it, especially. Whew.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but he was a special guy. But no, thank you so much, man. Thank you for coming onto the show. And I hear someone.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Who are you?
Jeez.
Hey, what? Who am I? You don't know who I am, dude? Ninja Mime 6.
You just
Johnny
interrupted our
frickin'
conversation.
Cage.
Wait, who?
You never heard of Johnny Cage before? Did you ever open your eyes in your life? You ever turn on a movie? You ever see any martial arts before in your whole life? This whole thing's for me, by the way.
Oh, for you? Listen
Yeah,
here.
what do you think we're here for? Anyway,
No,
okay,
Did you
give me this
invite to
microphone.
Who did you invite to this party, Josh? What's going on here?
He's wrestling my.
Peons, be
Jeez.
quiet. I just want to thank the Academy for nominating me. There's a lot of great performances in
Where
the
do you
last
think
year.
you're at?
All forgettable.
Where do you think you're
Wait,
at
dude,
right now?
This is the Oscars.
I'm gonna let you finish, but where do you think you're at right now?
What do you mean? Where do I think I am? This is the Oscars for Ninja Mime 7. It hasn't even come out yet, and I've already gotten the award.
There's 7 of those?
Yes.
Were
Where
you in
have
all
you
6?
been?
Were you in this other 6?
I've been in all of them. I do all my own stunts. Okay, this has got to be a joke. I'm gonna. If this is a prank,
Those must have
Ashton,
been-
come on out. Is this a prank? Am I being punked?
Those must have been straight to VHS films. I don't think I saw those.
Did they go-
VHS, DVD, Laserdisc, HD, Blu-ray,
Laserdisc.
4K. We're on everything. Disney Plus, strangely
Oh
enough.
wow, that's pretty cool.
Do you
Have
just-
you met
just
Scarlett
publish
Johansson?
Charlotte Johansson? Yeah, that's Scarlett's sister, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I think her and I met up after a filming shoot one time.
Oh, okay. I
I
look
think
forward to
you're
Black Widow
lying.
too.
You don't even know where you're at. How can I trust your word? This is the 200th episode. This is a celebration for my 200th episode. This isn't the Oscars.
200, that's it, bro. Come on, get on my level. You know how many movies I've made? I made 200 movies last year.
Didn't you
That's
just say
impressive.
you've only made 8?
I only made 8. I only made 7. You're not supposed to know about Ninja Mime 8. I only made quote unquote 7 Ninja Mime movies, but I made 200 other movies last year.
What are some of your other movies? I've never even seen you in a movie. Let's them off. Maybe Neil or I have heard some of these.
Citizen Cage, maybe that ring a bell.
I think I watched that in film class in
You know
in
who
high
did
school.
the soundtrack to that? Cage the Elephant.
Oh.
They were gonna get Nicolas Cage,
There
but
it
they
is.
wanted somebody with actual clout, so they came to me instead, baby. I mean, come on. What? No. It's Kate. I'm getting Cage C with a C. What Why would they spell it with a K? That's just asinine. You're fired. You're fired.
I mean,
Sorry.
what was it like to be in Mortal Kombat? They spelled combat with a K, so why wouldn't they spell your name with a K?
Oh, Mortal Kombat was crazy. Those films were nuts. I mean, I've been making those since the 90s. Everybody kept saying, like, yeah, the world is actually in peril. There's demons and stuff. But I was like, no, we just got the latest cutting edge CG. Like, they made it look so real.
Debatable.
So, all right. So how did you even find this place? If you think this is the Oscars, why do you think this is what led you to believe this location at an undisclosed spot is the Oscars?
Well, with everything with the, COVID-19 and everything, I know everything's going to be a smaller deal. I want the pomp and circumstance, and craft services did kind of suck, and this is a much smaller gig than I'm used to.
I'm going to tell my wife that she helped me prepare these snacks.
I probably know her.
My wife?
Oh yeah. Is your last name Blade?
I think you might. I mean, I think you might be confusing my wife with someone else, but
Josh, did you have a red carpet outside on the front door? I came in through the back door just to
avoid...
I
got a red carpet because I thought it would be fancy, but I didn't think anyone would actually misconstrue. There's not even like a what those fucking things that they put behind
Bouncers?
The red carpets. Those what?
Bouncers?
No,
there were plenty of those. It was a white carpet before they tried to stop me coming in the door.
Oh my!
I punched the dude
That's a rental.
in the nuts. I punched a dude in the nuts so hard his eyeballs popped out and his regular balls took their place.
Wow. That's impressive. Did you see like an x-ray view of his body too when you did that?
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. I think I got to get these glasses checked out.
Yeah, you might want to.
Everything went kind of slow-mo too.
Cool.
I don't know what. I'm on. Hey, I take pills. I don't even know. Somebody just hands me something. I have assistants to get me drugs from all over the world. So I don't even know what I'm on right now, bro.
Do you have a ride home scheduled or?
Yeah, I was going to go with Josh's wife here.
Whoa. Josh's wife, Blade, you mean?
Yeah, Sonya Blade.
That's not my wife.
Oh. So she's single is what you're saying?
Yes, Sonya Blade is single as far as... I mean, I don't... Neil, do you know medical...
Hot dang, you're getting lucky tonight, Cage.
Not particularly, no. More of a Smash Bros. Guy myself.
So are
actually.
all your movies puns based off of Cage? Like Citizen
No, not
Cage?
all of them. Ninja Mime 1, Ninja Mime 2.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Ninja Mime 3, the third.
So where did
Revenge.
you learn your martial arts from? I don't believe you actually. Because all right, kick this apple off my head. Holy fuck, he did it.
Did you see that green goo that came out?
Yeah.
That was from the last
Where did
girl.
that even come from?
I think.
Josh,
I don't know, man. I just...
Josh, do you carry an apple around with you at all times? You summon that apple rather quickly.
Well, I mean, I'm in my home. I have an apple like on the, as like one of those fake apples as decoration.
Sure, of course, as
but
you
he
should.
just turned that into. I wonder if he has an infection on his foot. That's where that green goo actually came from. It wasn't from the apple. He just has.
I would go find where that apple went because if that hit somebody in the head.
Yeah, I'll get my assistant on it. Hey, when you've been around the block as much as I have, green goo is not the least of your worries. Let me tell you something right there.
Besides, all right, no, let me get back to my other question. I have so many questions for you. One,
I'm sure you do. I'll see if I'm sorry. Do I have time? Do I have time for fans? Do I have signing?
You're at a part. You're at my party. This isn't
I have time.
the Oscars.
My assistant, my remaining assistant that I haven't fired yet, is telling me that I do have time for some fan questions. So just please keep yourself socially distanced unless you want to get caged.
Ooh.
I'm not your fan, but okay. So where did you learn martial arts at all? Like where's your dojo at?
Well, I like to tell myself, I like to tell everyone I taught myself, but that would be discrediting the great Master Boyd. He taught me everything I know.
Well, you just told me his name, so how much could you discredit him?
Well, I don't want to discredit him by saying I taught myself. He's the only one that could do it better than me in his prime. I mean, this guy's looking a little old. Actually, I haven't seen him in a little while. I wonder how he's doing.
So all right, so you learned from some guy named Master Boyd. How long have you been practicing then?
Let's see. I am...
You're practicing Mortal Kombatist.
I've been practicing Mortal Kombat since I judo kicked my way out of my mama's womb.
Whoa.
That was my first fatality, actually.
That sounds violent.
Oh my god.
It was
How did
fine.
you not... Who took care of you after you murdered your mother?
Oh, Dad.
I'm still... You murdered...
I didn't...
What?
I wouldn't say murdered, but she's definitely not alive anymore.
Can't put a child in prison, I guess. That's interesting.
You're right,
No, it's
especially
surprisingly
a
or
child
not,
that
you
can
can't.
judo kick out of his mother.
That's how I got my stage name. Actually, after that, they put me in a cage. They said, "Who is this? Who is this kid?" And I'm like, "Johnny." And they're like, "I was like, here's Johnny," kicking out the womb, blood everywhere. And they were like, "Put this kid in a cage." So Johnny Cage was born, literally.
He could also speak
Put
the day he was born
this
too.
kid
That's
in a
impressive.
cage.
You advance quickly. How old are you?
I don't even know anymore, dude.
Oh, okay.
It's not polite to ask someone's age, Neil.
I think that's
Yeah,
just women. I'm not.
I'm
afraid
not
of asking
legally
a
allowed
man's
to say
age.
because some of the groupie girls are a little, little young.
No, I don't know.
Never. Had
Well, when you
groupies.
get rich and famous like me,
Did he just admit to being a pedophile? I hope not. We're gonna get.
Hey,
off
yeah,
that
yeah,
topic.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
We
turning
don't-
down a dark turn.
we don't
Also-
use the P word now that Jeffrey Epstein's gone.
Let's also keep him away from those school kids that Drunk Link just went past. They've had enough for one day.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to ward him, lead him away from that. There's no school nearby.
Oh, I know. I checked. I can't be within 500 yards of one.
Oh,
Check
okay.
that
Well,
on your way to the Oscars. You checked for schools.
I have to check. My assistants have to check.
Okay.
Wait, are you telling me there is a school? Oh, I got to fire my other assistant. Melissa.
Josh, how many assistants
you're-
did you bring to
you're
this
fired.
party?
I'm not. I didn't bring any.
I couldn't even bring Mike to this party, and he's allowed 6 assistants. What's going on here?
I didn't
Well,
invite
I just
him.
fired
He
one,
just
so it's
showed up.
5 now.
It's just you now, or you have 4 left? How many assistants do you have left?
I don't know, 4 or 5. Sometimes I like to just fire them for fun. Sometimes if they look at me wrong, and be like, "Hey, Carlos, you're fired." I'm
How do you-
just kidding, but
how do you-
but you actually are.
How do you hire them? Do you put LinkedIn ads up, or
I just
What's
tell them. I
the
just
process?
walk up to somebody and I tell them,
What's
"Hey,
the
Johnny
interview
Cage,
process
you're hired."
like?
Oh,
you
it's easy. Just walk up to him on the street. Hey, you, Johnny Cage. Yeah, you want to be my assistant? Too bad, you're hired.
So this could be a
you're
person with a
forcing
family
these women
and
you're forcing these people to be your assistants.
Well, I wouldn't say forced if you saw their pay stubs.
Well, how much are you
Daddy's
paying
rolling.
them?
I'm not going to disclose that. You're
I
nuts.
bet it's like a nickel,
it's got to be after taxes.
and then
I'm sure.
then they have to give them their nickel back.
Yeah. Oh,
Chad
Can he
Kroger was my assistant too before I fired him. That's why he started that band.
really?
Couldn't make it in the industry with me. He's like, "Well, I can't be in movies anymore."
Might as
Gotta
well
do
start one
music,
of
I
the most
guess.
hated bands of all time.
That's why.
So you're
I
the
ruined
reason
his life.
Nickelback exists.
Yeah, I said you'll never work in this industry again, and he kind of left the industry. Music is,
It's a dying art, some would say.
Have you ever
Yeah.
gone to one of his concerts since?
I've purposely bought out an entire arena that they were playing, just so
Why?
that when they came
what
on,
purpose?
just so that, oh my, you should have seen the look on their faces when they all came out to play, and there was just me sitting there butt naked eating a bowl of popcorn.
Oh, so you have seen him play live?
I mean, I've been in the room when he's been playing. I can't say that I've seen or heard him play music because I may or may not have noise canceling headphones and very dark shades, and I might have gone to sleep. But
So let me get this straight. I want to paint a picture for anyone listening on this. We have Johnny Cage here buying
Hey!
buying out an entire Nickelback concert just so that way he can sit butt naked eating popcorn, falling asleep with noise canceling headphones, just showing it to the breeze for them. Am I correct with this?
that's why you don't cross the cage, baby.
Do you do this with all your assistants that cross you?
But he didn't cross you. You fired him.
Whose side are you on, bro? Did he put you up to this?
You have to side with Johnny
I
Cage
mean,
or
I-
Nickelback now.
I mean, who would have known the great, it's not Democrat or Republican anymore. It's Cage or Nickelback. That's the two factions that we have to apparently align ourselves with anymore.
Is there a
Cage
third
versus
option?
Kroger. I didn't want to spoil anything for Ninja Mime 8, but you might have gotten into the plot.
I can't believe you crashed my party just for something that's not the Oscars, and 2, now you're trying to promote your political party of Cage versus Kroger.
That's the final fight of the next movie. Wait, this
Are you
isn't the
also
Oscars? Is it the Grammys? Is he here?
No, he's not here. This
sure
is
about
not,
The Emmys? Is it
I've
the
already
Tonys?
told you this is the 200th episode celebration. This is not.
Could be the Junos, the Canadian music awards that nobody watches. Maybe it's the Juno Awards.
I mean, he is Canadian.
He is. I've never met him though.
Are you trying to get to Canada?
No, why? No. Johnny Cage, look at these.
You need a ride back because I got my moose outside. I'm going to be heading back pretty soon once this party's over.
I don't work with kids and I don't work with animals.
I thought you were going to say Canadians for a second.
Hey, I mean, that goes without saying. The only one I'm still trying to get on a movie with is that Ryan Reynolds guy. He seems nice.
He's a good dude. I think he's a good dude. He's one of our better Canadians for sure.
I'll have my people get in touch with our other people to get in touch with our people to get in touch with your people, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
You fired all your assistants. I don't know which people you're talking about.
I've got several. Hang on, Carlos, you're not fired. You get back. Come on back here. You're. No, actually, you know what? You're actually fired.
Oh.
He just walked away crying. Why would you do that to him?
He's making a big scene. It's crocodile tears, man. He thinks he's trying to win an award. He's trying to steal this award from me.
There's
Best
no
performance. What am I holding then? What is this gold statue?
That's
I
a Pringles
don't know
can.
where you got it from. What is it?
That's a Pringles can. I
Where
think
did you
he's had way too many pills, dude.
Did he
It's a
just spray
sour
paint it
cream and
gold?
onion Oscar. That's the theme this year.
The Oscars don't contain snacks in the Oscars. That's not a thing. They're solid. What are Oscars even made of?
Apparently, Pringles
Potato
cans, according
chips,
to this.
apparently. They get stuck in your teeth.
He's just
This is why I
eating his
don't do these.
Oscar. The head's
why I
not
don't do
even
these
there anymore. He just ate.
appearances anymore.
I think he just bit off the cardboard. Oh my god, he did just
no.
bite off the cardboard head.
He just ate the Pringle man's face.
It's not an Oscar. I don't think cardboard's
Cage
healthy
wins.
for you.
Fatality.
Oh.
Oh my. Oh shit. He's choking on. He's choking. Oh my. Hold.
Does anybody here know CPR?
Let me try to get the Heimlich. I've never been trained
Okay.
on this. Hopefully, I don't break his like.
Oh. Jeez.
Oh my god! It shot across the. Oh,
I need a hot girl to give me mouth to mouth right now.
Not it.
Sonia,
Not I.
I'm seeing the light. I'm seeing the light, but it's getting dark. Sonia,
Should
where
we
are you?
just let him go?
He's seeing the light and it's getting dark at the same time. He's
Sonia,
contradicting
it's
himself.
getting dark. I'll never be able to make Ninja Mime.
Oh no.
He passed.
I really
out.
wanted to know how the Ninja Mime series ended. That's disappointing.
I mean, he might come back. I don't know. I mean, I think he's still breathing. I don't know.
Boom, and that's called acting, boys.
It's Oscar worthy right there.
I didn't believe it for a second.
Somebody
His
get me
eyes
a
were open
second
the whole
Oscar.
time.
No.
His eyes. He was still breathing, and his eyes
I
were
can't
open.
see
the
my
whole time.
eyes behind these shades, bro.
I
got a
didn't even
point.
notice it. I mean, you don't have any lenses in those sunglasses. They're just frames.
We're also inside. What are you doing?
Yeah. Why are you even trying to wear sunglasses inside?
You know that song, I wear my sunglasses at night?
Nope.
Corey Hart?
No.
I wrote that song, bro. I wear my sunglasses at night. Cage! They told me to take out all the mentions of my own name so it wouldn't ruin my pseudonym.
What's your pseudonym?
Corey Hart. Corey with a K.
Of course. And Chad Kroger with a K as well, right? Is that the other name?
No, Chad Kroger is the person he fired. Unless he.
Oh yeah. Maybe that's why he fired him, was because there could only be
Well,
one.
I'm starting
K.
to get. I mean, unless it's all the same person. Like, are we? Is Johnny Cage here dealing with a multiple personality situation?
Without a doubt.
At this point, I've been diagnosed with a lot of things. A lot of things.
I mean,
so-
I haven't seen a single one of his assistants except Carlos. Every other person that he's spoken to, I haven't seen at all. So I don't know who he's yelling at.
Because you're seeing double. That's my stunt double.
Okay. All right, Johnny. So what can I do to get you to leave? Like, what are you looking for that would make you leave this party? Because it's, like I said, it's not the Oscars, but what could I do to help you out of here?
I guess if it's not the Oscars, I'll take an Emmy. I'll settle for an Emmy. You're gonna
All
give
right,
me an Emmy?
let me here. I can whip one of those up real fast.
Wow.
Yeah,
This is
that's
a
it.
floppy disk.
I made it with paper clips, paper mache, paper towels, and paper tissue. Here's your Emmy. You win it for being Johnny Cage.
Hey, Johnny Cage! It's like this award was made for me, and I love the craftsmanship. Paperclip, paper mache. It's just like how we made Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Takes you back to the good old days, huh?
That's my least favorite one because I die in the first 5 minutes of it.
I mean, you know what? It's a crime. So maybe you should go and try to reboot it, make a remake of Annihilation. Get that off the ground.
I'm already got it. My agent's on that. You think I'm not trying to make a all Johnny Cage remake of Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Every character is Johnny Cage. It worked for Into the Spider-Verse. Why can't we have Into the Johnnyverse? That's what I'm saying.
That sounds wrong.
Every Johnny Cage from every Mortal Kombat. Who doesn't want to see that? Come on.
Only.
That sounds like the only thing that can save movie theaters at this point, Josh. I don't know about you.
You know what? I'd pay to see it. In fact, I think I have a friend who would probably pay to see that movie. My friend Andrew would probably pay to see that movie. He would see Into the Johnnyverse.
Yeah, he sounds like a real nerd.
All right, Johnny. Well, thank you for nothing, but I'm glad you got your Emmy, and hopefully we will see Into the Johnnyverse sometime soon.
Yeah, look out for that on Disney Plus and Amazon Prime and Paramount Prime and
Tubi
and QB and Peacock and Mortal Kombat Live. We're doing another stage show. We're doing another audio only movie musical. I'm going to be singing. I'm going to be playing all the parts. It's going to be nuts.
Well, that sounds fantastic, Johnny. I wish you all the luck, all the best.
I don't need luck when you're this good, baby. Come on, Johnny Cage.
Oh my God, he just sprinted off.
Wow,
He's
fast.
Just sprinted off yelling Johnny Cage.
He's very fast.
There he goes.
Gosh.
I'm sorry he interrupted our conversation, Neil, but like
That's all right, man.
What is with these people? Not one of the so few of my guests here have actually been here for my 200th. It's been you and Justin. I don't know who the hell half of these people are. But
I don't know, man. I guess when you put a message out to the world on Instagram and YouTube that you're celebrating your 200th episode, people are going to show up, right? That's how parties work. That's what my parents always taught me, to just keep the invites short. And I guess this is why they knew that Johnny Cage and an inebriated Link would show up at my party, and they didn't want that to happen to 12-year-old Neil, who was just wanted to watch movies and rent games from Blockbuster with his friends, you know.
I should have known. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Neil, thank you so much for stopping by, driving all the way down from Canada on a moose.
Yeah,
that's
what we do.
Dedication.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do. I'm happy to come back anytime, but it did take me the better part of 3 weeks to get here, so I better be getting going pretty soon.
I don't blame you. Thank you for stopping by, man.
Thanks, Josh. Here's the 200 more, by the way. Good luck. Have fun.
There he goes, off on that moose. This has been a great time, though. I know I was just complaining about how barely any of the guests here are actually here for the 200th episode, but it's still been a lot of fun. So I reached out to a couple people. I reached out on social media before my party, my totally real party, about doing a little Q&A segment. So I got some questions. I got a handful of questions. So let's go through some of these. So we have, let's start out with two from my friend Blaine, who wrote in, what game would you go back and play for the first time again? And I actually have two answers for this. One, I think I would go back and replay Ocarina of Time, because I actually burned out from that game. I played it so much as a kid that now I just don't really have any strong emotions for it one way or the other. And it sucks because I adored that game. So I'd love to go back and kind of have that same feeling again. And the other one is Outer Wilds. If y'all have not played Outer Wilds, go give it a try. It is one of the best games of all time. And I'm not just saying that because Andrew Pralo was on the podcast, the composer of the game. But it legit, I found the game because of that interview, and now I can't stop singing its praises. Like, I would love to go back and replay that again and experience it through new eyes. And a second question from Blaine, what game do you regret investing any amount of time in? I don't know. Like, there's very few games that I can think of that I just don't care, that I regret playing, that I completely regret ever trying. I guess if I had to choose one, it would be, I don't know, man. There's so few games, because even a bad game, I find something interesting to like latch onto to either tell a joke or a funny anecdote or something. So if there's a game that I regret investing any amount of time in, this is kind of a jokey answer, but World of Warcraft. Like, I loved World of Warcraft, but on my one character, I spent 30 days of my life collectively between all the years in that game. And that's a whole month of my life that I spent playing that game. I know there's other people who have spent a lot longer than that, but that's kind of a jokey answer because I still enjoyed myself. But I think it bums me out to see that 30 days of my life was spent on that one character, let alone the other characters. Let's move over to another question here. We got from Games Go here on Instagram. If you could change one thing about Mario Bros. 3, what would it be? That's interesting. That is a really interesting question. If I had to change one thing, I would probably say just kind of scrap the lives mechanic, because it was not dated for the time it was released, but in modern context, kind of like what Super Mario Odyssey did, like they made in Mario 3 that lives weren't nearly as essential, where if you died, you just started back at the beginning of the level, and the challenge was beating the level, not necessarily the struggle of having to lose all your lives. Because even if you lose all your lives, you start back at the beginning of the world. So it's not like the biggest loss for losing all your lives, but it just seems like now it's just a silly, unnecessary thing. Maybe even change it where if you lose a certain number of lives, you have to go back to the previous level. It's like you don't lose all of your progress within the world. But even then, man, like the game is just so good. Like, I think that even with that said, I think their mechanic is pretty fair. Like, if you lose all your lives, you just have to restart that specific world, not the whole game. Like, it's overall pretty fair because there's only really 4 or 5 levels in each world. So sometimes some more, some less, unless you do all of them. But you only need to beat 4 or 5, maybe 6 levels in each world. So I don't know. I would say that, but it's tough because it's a really good game. From my dear friend, Dearest Abby, if you could spend the day in any video game world, which world would you choose? I think if I could spend the day in any world, see, part of it's like, would you want to be somewhere epic? Like, I would say World of Warcraft because that world captured my imagination when I first played it. But at the same time, there's war and violence and shit in there. I'd rather go someplace where it's just kind of fun and happy, like Ratchet and Clank. I would love to live in the Ratchet. Maybe there's a lot of stuff trolling you and kind of being a dick to you, but it'd be a lot of fun, I'd be down for that. I'd be down to live in the Ratchet and Clank. We're going to go with Ratchet and Clank. Moving on, we have from the Console Kids podcast. Oh, no questions, just happy and excited that I reached my 200th. Thank you so much, Console Kids. That's very nice of you. From the from the PlayCube Gamecast, red or blue? So I have a couple different options for this. Are they speaking about Pokemon? Are they speaking about just general colors? Well, if it's Pokemon or just general colors, in all honesty, blue. I go with blue both. I love Squirtle, as that was my starter for the red too, for red and blue. So I'm going to go with blue for both, and blue is my favorite color. Maybe green it can sometimes reaches above that. 2 more questions. Do I have a dream guest for the show? I have thought about this for a while. I would say probably a dream guest, and this is from Smash Brothers Gaming. One of the sponsors of the podcast. He has sponsored a couple months of the show. So actually, quick shout out to geekguild.com for sponsoring the show for a couple months. This is not a sponsor. They did not pay me for this, but the owner of that site has been super nice to me, super just incredibly helpful, and it's just been such an amazing person, and I can't thank him enough for sponsoring the show, and also just chatting and talking over on Instagram. It's been nice. So yeah, Geek Guild, go check out their store, geekguild.com. Anyway, dream guest, I would have to say I would probably want to get Matt Gorley on the podcast or Kevin Smith. Those are my two dream guests. If you're talking about someone specific to video games, like hyper specific, I would have to say maybe someone from either one of the higher ups at Insomniac or Naughty Dog. Like Andy Gavin or Andy Gavin who was one of the co-creators of Naughty Dog, or is it Andy Gavin? I can't remember. I'm blanking on their name right now. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, it is Andy Gavin. Andy Gavin was one of the co-creators of Naughty Dog, and Jason Rubin was the other co-creator. Either one, or Evan Wells, who's I believe the current president of the company. He's the co-president of Naughty Dog now. I would love to interview any of them, though I highly doubt that would ever happen. Or Ted Price from Insomniac, because I love Insomniac's games. Yeah. So if we're going hyper specific in terms of just specifically games, it would be Andy Gavin or Jason Rubin, the co-creators of Naughty Dog, or Ted Price or some other higher up person that I don't know all the names for the people at Insomniac Games. I would love to speak to one of them. If we're talking about people who are like I could tie into something game related but aren't directly in the industry, it would be Kevin Smith, film director Kevin Smith, because he's had a couple games based off of his characters Jay and Silent Bob come out. And Matt Gorley, who is a huge James Bond fan. I found him from the James Bonding podcast, so I could bring him on to talk about other James Bond games. Both those guys have been huge inspirations to me as a podcaster. Some of the ideas of like the rankings that I've done, and there's actually an idea that I have that I want to get done, but it's a big collaboration idea, and it's just very, very, very hard to do because it's hard to get everyone communicating and get everything working. But I've gotten ideas from Matt Gorley's podcast, like the way I did my Final Fantasy VII characters ranked episode. That ranking system that was taken from his James Bonding podcast. He also does amazing work over with Andy Daly on a lot of Andy Daly's. I would love to have Andy Daly on, but I have no idea how I tie him into video games. But Matt Gorley is one of my podcasting heroes. I love the stuff that he does. He's one of the most funny and genuine people, and I've never met the man, but he just seems so genuine and so down to earth, and I would love to have a chance to speak to him. But and I've tried to find ways to contact him, and I just don't know how to do it. And then Kevin Smith, because he was the impetus for me starting the podcast, him and Retronauts. Retronauts for the video game angle, and then Kevin Smith just for the inspirational angle. I love his movies. He seems like such a genuinely nice person, and I would love to have him on. So yeah, I would say those. Final question from my friends over at the JK Games podcast, Jerica and Kayla. Thank you guys for writing in. Who is my favorite guest that I've had on, and what has been the most fulfilling experience from the podcast? What has been the most fulfilling podcast experience? Both great questions. My favorite guest, I like all of them, but I mean, I know that's such a diplomatic answer. I would have to say the one that I've enjoyed speaking to the most, you know what? It's got to be my buddy Dexter Morrill. The guy who I've been doing, you just heard last week on the Captain Ed episode. Dexter and I have developed a friendship from this podcast, and then it kind of ties in with like what's the most fulfilling experience. It's the friendships, and it's not just like Dexter and I we got to meet up in person for the first time ever over the summer because him and his family were traveling up my way, near where I live. So we made an effort to find a restaurant and actually meet up and get to see each other face to face. So Dexter started out as a guest, and then we exchanged numbers, and we've been texting back and forth for almost a year now, and it's been great. He's become a really good friend of mine, and it's been he's my favorite guest for that reason. If we're going with people that's more kind of like a one-off, like an industry type of guest, I would probably say Sissy Jones, because Sissy Jones is also like we've developed a friendship, not as close as Dexter and I have, but like her and I, we we'll email every now and then, and I'll send her pictures of my kid, and she tells me stuff about going on with her a little bit, and it's nice. So I would say Sissy Jones, just because I was able to develop a friendship with a voice actor, and that's very bizarre, and I'm getting major imposter syndrome from it, but she is so nice and so sweet, and I can't wait. Season 2 of The Owl House is already out, or at least part of it, and I still haven't watched yet. I need to get on that. And then, like I said, Dexter, if you listen to this, buddy, shout out to you for being a good friend. So yeah, that's I think that's what I got for you. I think that's good for the Q&A, but I do have some audio clips that I got sent. So let's go listen to some of these audio clips real quick. So the first one, I put a call out on social media that if anyone wanted to send an audio clip just kind of talking about the show and their experiences with it, not like they don't have to talk about favorite episodes, just, if they wanted to do an audio shout out, type of thing, instead of just a little Q&A thing, they could. So I got the first one here from Retro Afternoons, my buddy over at Retro Afternoons. So let's listen to this.
Hey Josh, it's Cynthia from Retro Afternoons sending you a huge shout out and congratulations for reaching episode 200. What an incredible accomplishment, and one that I'm sure you're proud of. I'm a newer listener, only finding your podcast earlier this year, but it's been great diving into your vast back catalog to hear more about some of the games I love. And that's what's so great about the work you're doing. You're creating evergreen gaming content that doesn't age and will stand the test of time, unlike a high score at a local arcade. The time and effort you put into your podcast are appreciated and don't go unnoticed. Keep on gaming, and here's to 200 more.
Yo, thank you so much, Retro Afternoons, aka Synther. That was really nice of you, and thank you for listening to the show. Honestly, it's an honor because I love your content over on YouTube. If you have not checked out Retro Afternoons on YouTube, go check his stuff out. It's really good. It's a different kind of Let's Play channel. If I hope I'm describing your channel accurately, but it's worth checking out. So, dude, thank you so much. That really means a lot. Moving on, my buddy TJ from the Hotter Show, he decided to. He was nice enough to send something in as well. So let's go give it a listen.
What is up, Still Loading podcast fans? My name is TJ Hodder, and I am the host of the Hodder Show podcast, an avid listener and supporter of Still Loading podcast. And, well, I like to think that Josh and I are pretty darn good friends, at least as good of friends as you can be with someone you only know over the internet. And I am here to wish the very best and give some huge congratulations to my friend Josh for reaching 200 episodes of the Still Loading podcast. Holy cow. I knew it was going to happen, but who'd have thought we would have got here? You know what I'm saying? Josh, my man, I have appreciated your friendship and your support over the last, it's got to be coming up on 5 years now. Something like that. 4-ish years, 5-ish years, somewhere in that ballpark. I think it was 2017. I don't know. Getting off topic. But man, it has been such a genuine pleasure getting to know you and getting to the point now where I consider you a friend. And I was so happy when you let me know that you welcoming a little one into the world and then you getting married and all that stuff. As much as, yes, I love your podcast and I support you because of the podcast and I'm such a big fan, I also am a huge fan of the man behind the podcast in his life. So congratulations, Josh, on getting to episode 200. It's such a huge feat. And, I know that you are going to keep trucking along and you're going to keep doing your thing and keep putting out fantastic content that everybody is going to love and enjoy. I know I will. I'm excited. So get working on the next episode. Come on. Chop, chop, chop. Let's go. And listen, man, a little insight here for you. You only have 105 episodes to go until you tie with this guy right here with my 300 plus episodes. Just kidding, buddy. I love you. Thank you so very much for all of your support of my podcast and for allowing me the opportunity to come on here and give my well wishes to you. And thank you to everybody listening for supporting Josh. Keep supporting him. He is one of the best people that I have ever had the pleasure of meeting in this life over the internet. And I look forward to the day that we can get together and have some fun shenanigans in person. Thank you so very much for everything, Josh. Love you, buddy. And congratulations once again on 200 episodes of the Still Loading podcast.
Well, that if that doesn't describe TJ in a nutshell, I don't know what does. TJ, I put out the call for just a short little, like I was thinking like a 10 to 20 second clip. This motherfucker does a 2.5 minute clip, and now I feel like I'm being real. Like, I feel a little, I don't know, I feel like it's a little arrogant to put something that long in, but TJ, thank you so much. That was so nice of you. TJ is an awesome friend. Yes, dude, you have been such a good friend to me over the last couple of years, and it's been great too. In all honesty, sometimes if I'm having a bad day, I just need someone to vent to. And I'm not even like talking about like a full-on long ass chain of just text messages. It's just something to be like, hey man, today fucking sucked. I do that. I send that to you sometimes, and it cheers me up. So, dude, thank you for your friendship as well, and thank you for. It's crazy how we met just through podcasting. And to tie back to JK Games' question about like what's been the most fulfilling thing, it really is the friendships that I've made. I know that sounds cheesy as hell, but it's fucking true. It really is true. Between TJ, between JK Games, Cutscenes and Cupcakes, just all. I mean, there's so many podcasts that I've now collaborated with, and even ones that I might not have collaborated with, but I've spoken to, and we were planning on collaborating in the future. Retro Hangover, we're going to be planning something at some point. Side Questing podcast, Side Project podcast, the Main Quest podcast. My friend, one of my dearest friends, Erica, over at the Apex and the Abyss and Monster Madness. I didn't meet her through the podcasting. We actually know each other in real life, and we kind of have bonded over the fact that we both podcast and have similar interests. My buddies over their podcast is currently not up anymore, but James and Brian over the No Geeks Allowed podcast, that's KNOW, No Geeks Allowed. Cade over at the Gaming Memories podcast. There's just, I feel like I'm blanking on all of my friends that like I've met through this podcast. Sean over at Sensibly Cynical, the guys over at Project X Talk, just so many friends that I've met through the show, and it's truly been wonderful. But okay, I actually have one final clip for you, and I don't know who this is from, so let's listen to it and we will find out, shall we?
All right, you nerds, you better get on your knees because it's the second coming of JC, and I'm not talking Jesus Christ, it's Johnny Cage, baby. That's right, I'm back after shadow kicking my way through scores of paparazzi, and I just want to say a few words to commemorate this truly momentous occasion that we're all here to celebrate. Me winning that Oscar and getting Sonya Blade's number first try. Two things that definitely happened. Anyway, first off, I want to thank my fans. I want to thank my mom, rest her soul. My dad, may you burn in hell. And most of all, I want to thank myself. You know, I couldn't have done it without me. I was always there for me, and I never let me down. So, sorry. So this one's for me. Mwah. Thank you, me. I'm welcome.
That son of a bitch. He came back just to fuck with me. He came back just to fuck with me. Okay, Johnny. Okay, I see how it is. I see you. I see you. You and your whatever I gave you. Well, I guess it's the thought that counts. Maybe not. I mean, the only thoughts that JC apparently has is about himself, but you know. No. Thank you, I think, JC. And that's not Jesus Christ, of course. That's Mr. Johnny Cage. I think. Thank you. Anyway, so the party is starting to wind down, and before I let you all go, before I send you off into the night, thank you for attending podcastily, digitally, I don't know what you would call it, but attending my 200th episode party. Thank you all for coming. Seriously, I want to close this out. I want to end this party, close it all out with being a little sentimental. So let's go in, right? This podcast has really truly meant a lot to me. It's been, oh my God, it's been like 7 years since I started it, believe it or not. And I can honestly say it's been truly one of my true joys in life. And I know that sounds really fucking cheesy to say, but it has been such a blessing to me over these last 7 years. And I was only really serious with it for the last 4. And it's shown once you get serious with something how much it can really grow. So thank you to all of you who listen on an episode by episode basis, all my weird ideas that you just kind of go with. So thank you sincerely. And hopefully you enjoyed attending my party tonight, my totally real party today, whenever you're attending this podcast. Is that a thing? Anyway, no, it truly meant a lot to me. So I just want to say thank you to a few people. I also want to talk about how much video games mean to me. I know it's kind of weird, but I feel like it has to be said because video games are such a big thing in my life, and none of you would be listening to this if you also didn't give a shit about video games. So I feel like, as with just about any artistic medium, it's important to talk about how it brings us together. Like, what is it about gaming that really gives us this shared experience from people who don't really live near each other? There's something about gaming that just does that. Like, we have this collective shared experience despite not meeting face to face. Like, if people who are familiar with a game, you can talk about different sections of the game like it's streets within your hometown. Like if you meet someone who grew up in your hometown, you can tell them, oh yeah, on 4th and Main or something like that. You can call out specific locations. Gaming kind of does that for us. Gaming kind of does that for video games, kind of does that for people who didn't grow up together, who didn't grow up in the same hometown. So while we can't necessarily call out, oh yeah, I remember that store over on 4th and Main, we can call out, hey, you remember the Konami code? Hey, you remember the big world from Super Mario Bros. 3 where everything's gigantic? Yeah, that level is fucking cool. Stuff like that. It truly connects so many different people from so many walks of life, and I don't think it can really be understated how important that is, especially right now with the political climate. And no, I'm not going to go into any political rants or anything like that. It's just, I feel like we need more things that bring us together than tear us apart. And unfortunately, a lot of things tear us apart right now, especially. But gaming, it kind of gives that mutual sense of community that you don't think you would get otherwise. Like, it's truly that important. It truly is. And maybe I'm like waxing a little philosophical or whimsical about this, but like, games really do take you to a new world. Like, I look at an NES sometimes, I'm like, man, how many people's childhoods were shaped by this thing? Like, by sticking a cartridge into the console, it transports you to a different world. Like, this thing was the gateway. And it doesn't have to be just the NES. It can be any console. This was somebody's portal to a new world. This transported them somewhere away from what they were experiencing right then. Maybe the traumas of life at the time, like, it really is amazing. So it just means a lot to me. I use this podcast as a way to share that passion. And I hope I could kind of relay a little bit of my passion for games in that kind of literally not even rehearsed speech thing. But before we really close out this episode, of course, I need to give shout outs. First off, shout out to you, the listener. This truly means the world to me. I know I've said it a bunch of times, but it's the 200th episode, so let me be a little sappy, all right? Let me be a little sappy, but it really does mean a lot because I don't know what I would do without this podcast. I mean, I know I would be fine emotionally and mentally, but it would be harder because this podcast gives me something to work towards. It provides me with a creative outlet, and you all provide that for me by giving me something to strive for. So thank you all for listening, and thank you for all the support. And of course, all my personal friends. First off, of course, my wife. Without her support, this would mean nothing because She doesn't get video games, but she loves that I love this so much, and she supports me no matter what. And of course, all my friends and collaborators that I've worked with, whether it's I've met before the podcast started or whether I met because of the podcast. Erica over at the Apex and Abyss and Monster Madness, you are one of my closest friends, and sincerely thank you for your friendship and all the support over the years. TJ from the Hotter Show, probably the first friend I made through podcasting. My buddy up in Canada, TJ. You know, it's amazing how this medium and this community crosses so many borders. It's amazing. Andrew and Driana from the Experience Point, specifically Andrew, because we've known each other for years now. So, dude, thank you both so much for all your support. James and Brian from the No Geeks Allowed podcast. I'm going to have to start listing this off because there's a lot. Dexter, of course, Dexter, my co-host now, Dexter. Taste of Dragons, the GameCube Was Cool podcast. My buddies Lucas and Ryan over at Land Parties pod. My buddy from Japan, Robot Prince. Cade from the Gaming Memories podcast. Sean from Sensibly Cynical podcast. The Online Warriors podcast. Cutscenes and Cupcakes, JK Games, the Retro Hangover podcast, Side Questing podcast. There is just so many people, and I feel like I've probably forgotten some of you already. So I apologize to anyone that I did not already list. But seriously, like I interact with so many people, I feel like I'm worried that I forgot somebody. So if I forgot you, you know what? Go ahead and message me. I will make sure to shout you out in the next episode. But sincerely, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for supporting. And with all that said, before I do my wrap up, I have a pretty big announcement. I finally have updated my Patreon. My Patreon has been woefully out of date for quite some time, so it's definitely needed an updating. So let's go over what it is real quick. So what I have done to the Patreon is that at the $1 level, if you subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/stillloadingpod, $1 a month will get you access to the exclusive patron Discord. Just something small. Anyone who wants to support, $1 a month is a great way to help support the show. For $5 a month, you get access to the Discord, and you'll get episodes a few days early. Normally, episodes are released on Sundays. You will actually get episodes the Wednesday before their release on the free feed. This will start in November, so next month, in a few weeks. And there will be a third tier, which is not up yet, but it will be by the time November hits. That is the $10 tier. And at the $10 tier, you'll get the Patreon, you'll get the early episodes, and you'll get additionally a monthly bonus blog as well as a monthly audio segment. It's not going to be a full episode, but it's going to be anything you $10 patrons want to hear me talk about. And if nothing is suggested, I will just come up with something, talking about games that I'm currently playing, talking about gaming topics that are rambling through my head. And maybe just even discussing about planning for the podcast, give you a little bit of insight into what I have coming up and like what's going on in my head. So if you want to check that out, go to patreon.com/stillloadingpod. Even just $1 a month will help grow the show. You can support the show in other ways, non-monetarily, of course, which is giving it a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or whichever podcasting app you use. Ideally, Apple Podcasts, because that seems to gain the most traction with algorithms and stuff. But if you want to support the show, please consider doing that for my 200th, please. 5-star rating review. And yeah, of course, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at StillLoadingPod on all of them. And the last shout out that I have is the Bit by Bit Foundation. The Bit by Bit Foundation is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to put video games and video game consoles in the hands of kids receiving inpatient care at hospitals. So if you want to support them, go to bitbybitfoundation.org and consider donating. And that should do it for the 200th episode of the Still Loading podcast. I'm going to wind down this party and,
Hey, Josh, are you almost done podcasting? You've been up here for a couple of hours now.
I've been hanging out with my friends. What are you talking about?
Oh, friends. Got it. Well, I have dinner ready. Why don't you come join us real people downstairs?
Hey.